I'm Joe Wilson, member of Congress, and very grateful to represent Western Orangeburg County, all of Barnwell, Aiken, Lexington, and parts of Richland County, and serving in Congress. It's particularly meaningful to me to be here today at the Times and Democrat. I was just thinking, and it's hard to imagine, but it was 50 years ago this year that I met with Dean and Grace Livingston, and how meaningful the Times and Democrat over the years has been to me. Very positive paper reporting on local news and giving coverage for persons who live in this community and giving them an opportunity to have positive coverage. And I believe the Times and Democrat serves a vital function. I'm here today. Every year I do a drive around of the district where I present the agenda that I have for the coming year. Congress goes back into session next Tuesday, and I look forward to this, the second year of this session, and I look forward to returning and working on issues that are important to the people of Orangeburg and of all of the 2nd Congressional District. First of all, and Orangeburg is a center of attention to me in that I work with the local chambers and development commissions, and one of the highlights to me this year was to visit at the Orangeburg Industrial Plant or facilities and see the spec building. This is a real credit to Senator Tim Scott. It was his proposals to have opportunity zones, and working with President Donald Trump and our other U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. The three of them put through opportunity zones, which has resulted in a $20 million spec building being built right here in Orangeburg to produce jobs. And I'm so pleased that with President Trump's cuts in taxes, that we have record employment. It's the highest level of employment in over 50 to 60 years, maybe ever, and the lowest level of unemployment. And then as I go around the district, it's so pleasing to me to see the number of businesses that have hiring, now hiring signs, and they even identify part-time and full-time. It's just extraordinary, the opportunities, and I look at particularly opportunities for young people, first-time entry-level jobs, and then wages are rising. There was a report just 2 weeks ago that the wages are rising at a record rate, and that's because you have a shortage of labor, which is all good because it means jobs. And so that's the first point that I want to make, and I'm also very supportive of Right to Work. I'm the lead co-sponsor or sponsor of the National Right to Work law, which provides that people can join a union or not. It's their choice. And then I continue, and this has been a bipartisan effort, the Savannah River site. Congressman Jim Clyburn and I both represent part of the Savannah River site, and over the years we've worked together for missions at the Savannah River site, and I appreciate that Congressman Clyburn and I actually worked together when I was in the state senate on transportation issues, so we've got a long relationship of working together on local projects. And then I want to repeal the final parts of Obamacare. In particular, they had taxes that bipartisan just 2 weeks ago. 3 of the main taxes were deleted, and so it's not partisan. It was bipartisan. Democrats and Republicans supported removing parts of the Obamacare legislation. And then moving ahead to conservative alternatives, I want to address the issue of the national debt that we have, $22 trillion. This is a threat truly to the young people of our country, and passing on a debt to them that needs to be addressed. And so I vote for the most conservative budgets to reduce the potential of greater debt. Additionally, the tax cuts the president has placed into effect, to see the effect here in Orangeburg with the provisions of the opportunity zones, jobs created. And then I want to continue to reduce government regulations so that businesses can, with health and safety and environmental concerns being addressed, can create jobs. And we go to foreign affairs. I want to strengthen our national alliances. I'm a member of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly. I'm also a member of the Helsinki Commission. the Organization for Cooperation and Security in Europe, and I'm very, very grateful that we work together to promote stronger relationships between countries around the world and leading country caucuses. And then I want to promote the President's efforts for military strength and to support our veterans. Today we see that it's the President is promoting peace through strength. In the last 24 hours, he led the effort to stop the one of the leading terrorists in the world, Soleimani, and he has Soleimani himself of the Quds Force of the Iranian military has directed the deaths of hundreds of Americans. Only 10 days ago, he initiated a rocket attack on our embassy. Then there was a response by President Trump against the camp of the Iranian financed terrorist. And then they, of course, attacked the U.S. Embassy, which is attacking American soil. And then President Trump, I think, courageously has, through a drone strike, eliminated the threat of Soleimani. And to me, it's very important because I have not forgotten 9/11, September the 11th. We were attacked from a cave, and we need to be prepared to stop terrorists wherever there are safe havens in the world to protect American families here. So it's not a conflict over there. It's to prevent a conflict here. And so I'm just really proud of what the President's done. And it's not anti-Islamic. The Islamic extremists have killed many more people of Muslim and Muslim faith than they've killed Christians or Jews or Hindus. But they have a real drive to death to America, death to Israel, and we need to be prepared, and that's what the President is doing to protect American families here. And then I'm really grateful that this year we were able to pass the widow's tax elimination, and with the assistance of Gold Star Wives and veteran service organizations, we achieved 383 co-sponsors. It had the largest number of co-sponsors of any piece of legislation in Congress this session. And I'm really pleased that it's now been part of the National Defense Authorization Act. And so 65,000 families that have lost loved ones and who died in action, because we know freedom is not free, defending American families. Now 65,000 families will receive on average an additional $12,000 a year, which is critical for, say, a young wife and small children, who I'm hearing from a number of them how much they appreciate it. And then finally, of great concern to me is the VA healthcare system and TRICARE system. We want to make sure it works for our veterans, that we have capabilities to show proper respect for the veterans and the military families. And that's the agenda that I have, and I look forward to any questions that you may have too.